Hello and welcome to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Anna Middleton and this is Ryan Lam bringing you a Penn State soccer segment. So let's start off with the women's team. A bit of a rough season, but they seem like they have righted the ship with 5 straight victories. What do you think about the team's newfound confidence, Ryan?
Well, when you think about it, it's always hard, right? They've lost most of the players in the offense, ushered in some new players apart from like Frankie Tagliaferri and also Carrie Abello up front. Also some injuries to players like Shea Moyer and also Christian Schnurr forced Coach Erica Dombach to play a lot more younger players, but then that's kind of playing off right now. Corey Dyke's one of my favorite players in the Regista role. I'm big fan of the Regista, and I know you share the sentiment with Dyke as well. Players like Ali Schlegel, she's one of the most consistent finisher in the team and also a producer, 11 goals already in the season. And how could you not talk about Sam Coffey? Sam Coffey's just like, she's an All-American for the reason she plays pinpoint passes off live balls and also dead balls. However, my personal favorite player, Peyton Linehan. She's a right winger of the team. She's a true freshman, and she came in first game against Stanford. I feel like she could be something special. She maneuvers tight spaces very well, has those like magical ooh and ah moment, like right down the flank trying to break through defenses. And I feel like she's the best player to like kind of, create something out of nothing, especially now going in deep into the season in a more direct style of play. And she's also contributing way more on the team right now with tracking back and also making more central runs as well. In the counterattack, first goal of the Northwestern game, that's the perfect example of it. She just runs straight down and Coffey just feathers through.
Yeah, so Coach Dombach has the best recruiting class of 2019, and it shows, of course.
Oh yeah, recruiting coordinator Team Wassel, #1 recruiting class in top drawer soccer. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned your favorite star freshman is Peyton Linehan. I would have to disagree with you. In the beginning of the season, I don't think Linehan was producing at all. I don't think she earned her starting position as a freshman. There were so many other candidates that had the abilities to start over her, and it actually showed midway through the season. Returner Jordan Caniff started for Oklahoma State, Michigan, and UVA, which maybe it was the right move, maybe not. Those games did turn out with losses. I believe the MVP, though, is freshman Corey Dyke. She is ranked the #7 freshman of the 2019 season for freshmen, and she's in the holding midfield position. The reason I like Corey Dyke is because I have never seen her not connect a pass. She always connects a pass. She always is there, and she's a patient defender. She doesn't let the person get by her, and she doesn't get as much credit in the Penn State with the Penn State coaches as she should, in my opinion. Now, moving on to the defense, there's a very stellar back line with featuring 4 seniors. You move Suero to right back because Hayslip is the right center back now. Obviously, because Hayslip is a little bit more rockier than Kaylee Reel.
When you think about it, like, how could you beat Kaylee Reel? Like 94 straight starts, NCAA record.
Exactly.
You could just like trust her with one side of the pitch, no problem.
Exactly, and she also has Ellie Jean on her left side flank, so everything's okay and strong there. Kaylee Reel is a brick wall defense. You mentioned that she has 94 straight starts.
Yeah. So like kind of alluding back to that defensive thing, Sam Coffey talked about how the team has kind of figured out the idiosyncrasies and also just like, moving on, just how to play together as a team. I feel like part of it is because Coach Erica Dombach has found the winning formula. Like you said, they put in Caitlin Hayslip after Kate Wiesner got injured and then put Laura Suero back in the back line. So Carrie Abello gets released. She's liberated as a winger. And when you have someone like Peyton Linehan and also Carrie Abello up front in the wings that's disruptive, I mean, you're just going to stretch the defense is thin. And just like looking at it, Coffey said they want to be unscoutable, and they're just that. Players like Coffey and Tagliaferri has the ability and the technical skill to swap with the wingers and to confuse the fullbacks. Kind of some of the goals and some of the smoother offensive stretches came by way like that for Penn State this season. Yeah. Now, speaking of being unscoutable, Penn State men's soccer might have hit the jackpot with this season. People are thinking, Jeremy Raffanello's gone, Ethan Beckford's gone, that team's going to have some holes in the squad, but then they've kind of turned themselves as an unscoutable team, especially with a freshman that you're really looking forward to.
Yeah. Well, first of all, who would have thought we would be sitting here today saying the men are doing amazing? They are 8-2-2 overall, 4-1-1 in the Big Ten. Nothing compared to last year's 6-9-2. what amazement. One of the key players is freshman Liam Butts. He obviously wasn't here before. He is new. The opponents can't scout him. They don't know what he's going to do.
And also, he has some experience by his side with Kristen Sloat up front. So there's like a tandem, you know, one goes up, one falls back a little bit. The 9-10 tandem on the team works really well.
Yeah. And Butts has helped the Nittany Lions get some goals into the net. It's extremely hard for other teams to handle. And for this reason, Butts was named Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week last week. And this was the first time this has ever happened since 2017 for the men's team. And other key players like Brandon Hackenberg and Josh Levine have also won defensive awards.
Yeah, speaking of that defense, you know, you mentioned Hack. They have Hack at the back. They have Will Campbell as well, grad transfer from University of North Carolina. And then in the midfield, looking at players like Aaron Malloy, who's a senior captain of the team. They have Callum Pritchard back. He's from England. And they also have Pierre Reedy back, who is really important. He came off a really devastating injury and came back stronger than ever. And also just front line, like I mentioned, Kristen Sloat up front, complementing the freshmen and goalkeepers. There's an interesting dilemma there. Like Chris Shakes is your Jamaican goalkeeper. He's high flying. He's 5'11". He has springs in his foot. But then also Josh Levine, a little bit more of a traditional form goalkeeper. Those are two starting caliber goalkeepers there. So it's kind of up to Jeff Cook to figure out. Also, Cook has a little bit of a rocky start. You know, Stanford's a really good team. Also, but then the bigger problem is when he decided to pack it back and park the bus against Michigan, and at home as well. So, like, I feel like the team has changed more positively, gained a little bit more confidence after that particular matchup, and then just kind of went on a run. Indiana's the outlier because Hackenberg did get sent off early on. You can't really account for that result. But then now the Pitt win has looked so good just because Pitt beat the #1 team in the country in Virginia. So it's really interesting to see how this Penn State men's soccer team will progress.
All right, for the men and the women, we have a lot of talented freshmen and sophomores, but what we don't have is talented seniors. We don't have experienced players. Going into the Big Ten playoffs, how is this going to affect them?
I mean, there's players like Kelly Reel, Ellie Jean. Those players will always give you what you want. But then, looking at it, I don't think their timelines this year. Both of the teams, I don't think their timelines this year. However, like there's a cliche in sports, you have to peak at the right time. I think the women's soccer team is doing just that, taking in that 5-game winning streak and going into postseason, possibly another tournament appearance. You never really know, especially with only Michigan in the way and maybe Wisconsin. Now, I see them both making a tournament, and then by the time you're there, you know, you never know because it's one game knockout. Well, like anything could happen, and that's the fun part of like the collegiate format of, you know, playing knockout games in a tight schedule and trying to get yourself together and go again.
See, I think anything could happen. I honestly think the women have had 5 straight victories so far. I think they're going to keep winning and like hopefully be Big Ten champs. The men, hopefully again too, because they've just had such a knockout year compared to last year. So hopefully.
Penn State soccer segment with me, Ryan Lam, and her, Anna Middleton. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you for watching our latest edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also follow us on Twitter at PSSNTV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.